Hello crafters, I'm JanB and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. Today I'm going to show you how I made this triple tier card. Okay, so you get 3 layers coming up and it all tucks back down again inside. I was asked by a lady called Lorraine Fisher who lives in the States if I already had a video that shows how to make this, and I said I didn't, but I'm really more than happy to make one. So I went onto YouTube because I haven't actually seen one of these, or at least not knowingly seen one, and I watched a few videos and then I was able to pull the best bit, what I thought were the best bits together, and I finished up with this. The lady whose video that I really took most of the information off is a German lady, and the video was all in German, and that's her name, Liebes Fusch. She's not a Stampin' Up demonstrator, but she is a crafter. So I'm going to do exactly the same decoration on my card now, but I'm changing the cardstock. This one was from Best Route, which was a masculine set, but I'm going to be using the same sentiments and images. So to start off with the card pieces that I'm going to be using, this cardstock DSP is Animal Expedition. So the first piece measures 3 inches by 9.5 inches, which is 7.6 by 24.2 centimetres. One of the really nice things about the video that I picked this up of, which was a German lady, she had all her measurements in inches and centimetres, which was a real blessing for me. The second piece measures 3 1/8 inches by 10 1/4 inches, which is 7.9 by 26 centimetres. And then the third piece is 4 1/2 inches by 11 1/4 inches, which is 11.3 by 28.6 centimetres. And then you need a piece of lemon lime twist, and that should measure 2 inches by 4 inches, which is 4.9 by 10 centimetres. The reason I haven't said 5 centimetres there is because you need it a tad smaller. So that's that one. And then you need 2 pieces of any colour cardstock, which measure 1/2 inch by 2 3/4 inches, which is 1.3 by 7 centimetres. And then you need 1 piece of Whisper White, which measures 1 5/8 inches by 2 1/2 inches, which is 4 by 6.3 centimetres. And then you need a piece each for the cake and the cake stand. And then you need a piece for the sentiment on the inside of the card, and that measures, it was 5/8, wasn't it? 5/8 by 2 1/2 inches, which is 1.5 centimetres by 6.3 centimetres. Okay, so what we're going to do first of all is actually make this mechanism. So I think this one is the easiest bit to do. So if we take the lemon lime twist, and I'm going to use the tag topper punch, and you just need this to be a tad short of the 2 inches. Okay, so that's fine. That's all you need to do with that one. Right, now when you start scoring, keep all 3 pieces either facing you the right way or all 3 facing the wrong way. Okay, so I'm going to have them all facing the right way towards me, and I'm going to use my scoreboard. As you know, I do prefer to use this, and my scoring tool. Don't forget, when you're using this, you are scoring on paper, so don't press too hard, otherwise you'll go straight through it. Right, on the first one you need to score at 3 1/8 inches, which is 8 centimetres. Okay, and the second one you need to score at 3 3/8, which is 8.6. 3.3, and then the last piece you need to score at 3 3/4, which is 9.6 centimetres. Okay, so that is all you need your scoreboard for. You will be needing your trimmer, so if you've used your trimmer, don't put it away too far. Now what you need to do with these is fold on your score line. Now I don't use a bone folder for this unless I get into any kind of difficulties, meaning if I fold it in the wrong place and I need to refold it. Okay, so fold one piece over and then take the other end and you need to fold this. Now if you put this up to that score line and just leave a tad of a gap, okay, because you've got to be able to do this easily. Now I'll fold mine and I'll bring it up to the camera so you can see how much gap I've left. Just make sure that you've lined that up and that that is lining up. As you know, I don't normally like folding without a score line, but I did find out of the triple tier cards I made, I found this was the best one to fold that over. So let me just show you how close that is. Alright, it's not right into the crease there, just an absolute tad short. Sorry, I'm pushing that over a bit. Okay. Now do the same with this one. I can see a pencil mark there. Not that it really matters because that's going to be going inside. Maybe not, it won't. Right, okay, so the same again. Go right up to your score line, but just leave a tad spare. Okay, so that that comes over nicely. So I'm still keeping mine so that I've got the outsides showing. Fold that one in. And then fold this one up to the score line. Don't actually touch it, just go really, really close. If you feel happier using your bone folder on that one that hasn't been scored, by all means do go for it, but don't over score it because it's paper and too much and it will crack. Now on this one we are going to adhere this in here, and we are going to do that. Now what I'm going to do is, you don't need to do this unless you need this as an aid. I'm going to do it purely and simply to show you, if you want to do it, go for it. Let's turn that over. Okay, so I'm putting my ruler up to the fold and I'm just going to draw a pencil line. The thing is, this is going to be inside, so it's not going to be, you're not going to have to erase it, and it's not going to be seen. So put the ruler into the crease, make sure that folds over, and then, okay, now make sure you're up the right way still. So what you need to do is you need to adhere this more or less at the bottom here and have the same gap there and the same gap there. You may want to do this by lining up your DSP, your paper, on your grid paper, which would be about there, and then if I've calculated that right, 6 and 3, no I haven't, have I? 6 and a half, you're going the wrong way. Right, that's more like it. And then you can put that on there, and then make sure the dark line goes right through the middle there, which would be about there. But I'm going to eyeball this, I'm not going to get too worried about it. Right, I'm going to use Tombow on this. I think all the videos I saw, everybody used tear and tape. Right, so just eyeballing this so that it's in the centre. Okay, that looks about the same. That looks the same. Make sure it's straight. Okay, so I've only got a little tiny tad sticking out at the bottom there. So next I need to just adhere this over. So what I'm going to do is I am going to use tear and tape on this piece here. So as you have your designer series paper in front of you, this is the one you're going to put your tape on. So that's the one on your left hand side, and just put it towards the edge. Let's just take the backing off. Oh, where's my bucket gone? Right, so fold that one over, make sure it's lined up straight, and fold this one over and make sure that's lined up straight. And you should find that you've got a little bit left over on the edge there. Okay, it won't go right to the end, and you'll also find that that'll be a little bit bulbous, which is okay. The bit where you have the seam, that is the back of your card. Now you can either do your decorating now or once you've put the card together. I left mine until I had finished all of this, including that there, and I found it quite easy to do, so that's what I'm going to do now. But if you wanted to, you could do your decorating as you go along. Now for the next one, the second size, we need to do some cut lines in here. So I'm going to bring my trimmer, and I want my paper piercer as well so that I can explain this properly. Now what we're going to do is we are going to cut 2 lines down here, and we are going to use this as our slider. Now what you need to do is, again, you may want to draw your pencil lines on here. That line there, you need to line it up with the 1 inch mark, which is the 2.5 centimetres. Okay, if you little bit out, it doesn't matter. Now you're going to use your cutting blade, and you're going to go to the 1/4 inch mark, which is 0.6 of a centimetre, and you're going to cut down to 2.5 inches, which is 6.3 centimetres. Okay, if you have centimetres down here and you would like to have inches like I have, that is a strip that I cut off of my grid paper and I've adhered it on there. As you know, I don't do centimetres. Right, now for the second cut, you're going to line this edge up with the 1 inch there. Again, doesn't have to be absolutely perfect. And now you are going to cut again at 1/4 of an inch down to 2.5 inches, which is 0.6 of a centimetre down to 6.3 centimetres. That's down to 2.5. Okay. So let's do the next one. Right, again, this is exactly the same as far as positioning is concerned. Line that score line up with the 1 inch. Again, doesn't have to be absolutely spot on. This time you're going to start cutting from 1/2 inch down to 3 inches, or 1.3 centimetres down to 7.6 centimetres. Okay, so that's 1/2 inch down to 3 inches. And again, we're going to line this edge up with the 1 inch there. And we are going to cut from 1/2 inch down to 3 inches. Okay, that's all you need your trimmer for now. So we're going to work with this one, and you're going to take one of your sliders and you are going to slide it so that you've got the band on the inside. Okay, so that's going on the inside. If you fold that one over, now to stop these, or at least to help keep them in place, what you need to do is to fold these two over, but you don't want them tight. So the way to do that is to use your fingernail and just put it on to your cardstock. So you're off of the paper onto the cardstock. Now this bit I do tend to use my bone folder with. Okay, so fold that. Just make sure it's straight. I don't mind using my bone folder here because this is actually cardstock. And then this one, again, put your fingernail onto your cardstock, bring it over, make sure it's all lining up nice and straight. Okay, so that's got to run up and down like that, right? Now you need to put some sticky strip on here. Now I am going to put 2 pieces on, but don't let it come past that cut line, nor that cut line there. I'm going to put 1 piece on top of the other so that it's all, or at least one that's overlapping the other, I should say. Okay, so I've not gone right to the edge on either piece. And then I'm going to do the same again with this one. So it's overlapping. I shouldn't have said on top of. There we go. And we also need to have a piece along this end. Again, this is your left hand side piece. Right, so get yourself back into position again. You want your slider at the bottom. Now you want to have the back of your card folding facing you, and that is where that seam is. And what you need to do is to position this. This is where your lines would come in very handy. You need to position this absolute tad underneath the top of this. So when this is closed, you can't see that one. That looks as if it's halfway. The same gap side by side. And that's just a little bit down there. I'm going to bring this down towards me a bit. Make sure I stay in the screen. Yeah, that's all right. Okay. So I'm just making sure I've got the same gap between this and that score line as I have on that side. Now, before I stick this down, I'm going to take the tear and tape off, the backing off the tear and tape. So that's one piece. That's two pieces. You just need to make that lay down again. Okay, just double check, which is just as well I have because I've gone very crooked. Right, that looks straight. So bring this one over and get it to adhere to the underneath. Okay. So what will be happening is that will be sliding up and down like that. So make sure that's right down. Take the backing off of this piece and then close that up, making sure that those both stay down and these line up. Again, you can see there's a little bit of an edge there. That's fine. Now we're going to have the next one, and we're going to use the other slider, and we're going to pop that through there and through there, so you've got the inside facing you. So that's down towards the bottom, and I'm going to put tear and tape there and across the end. Again, I'm going to do the two bits. If you want to do just one piece in the middle, by all means. I wouldn't recommend that you use snail for this though, because it is a moving part. And again, don't go right up to the edge. In fact, that was a bit silly. I should have done the, should have folded it over first. Let's see if I've done that too late. No, I should be able to do that. So I'm going to put my thumbnail, my fingernail rather, onto the cardstock and then fold that over. That's okay, just making sure that I haven't folded any of that over. Now let's do this one. Finger onto the cardstock. Just make sure that's straight. Obviously it is better to do your folding first, that way you'd get equal distance and not be very uneven like me. So now I'm going to put my tear and tape on the left hand piece again. Right, before I start bringing that piece over, I'm going to take my backing off my tear and tape. That's one piece. That's the second piece. Okay, make sure that's at the bottom. Now make sure you've got the wrong side facing you again, so you've got your seam here. And again, you're going to position this so that this is right near the top, but not so far up that it can be seen. And then equal distance between that score line and that score line. Okay, if I can hold that up to show you. Maybe it should come over this a little bit. Let me just bring it down because I can't see at the top there. Yep, I think that's alright. And have a look at the bottom here. It looks straight. Now I'm going to fold this over to adhere onto this. Make sure you've stayed down. Okay. And then this needs to come over here. So you've got your seam there again. So on all three sections, all three tiers, you've got your seam coming down that side. And don't forget to make sure they stay down. Okay, so if this is right, it's going to pull up like that. I did notice with my frogs that there wouldn't be any frogs appearing on this bit, but never mind. But isn't that clever? Works so easily. And another thing that I like about the German version of this, the German lady, you can't see anything at the top here, which I think, you know, is brilliant. Really love it. Okay, so let's get the decorating done. What did I want? That's the stamping for that. This is for the very front bit. What did I do? The card. There it is. Right, okay. Life's too short not to say no to cake, and that comes from the Amazing Life stamp set. This one here. This has, in the new Spring Summer catalogue, this comes with a set of rectangle stitched framelits. I don't have them yet, but I will be getting them. Right, so this is the stamp, because I haven't decided the colours yet for this, have I? I'm going to use Call Me Clover. Right. Now I did a bit of paper piecing with this. Should have done a spare one of these in case I have done that wonky. Let's have a look. Oh no, that's all right, look at that. So the paper piecing I did was, I've already done mine, got them ready, and I've used this paper here, okay, because this is going to be going on here. But to show you what I did, I bought a piece of this lime green over. And I need, in fact I'm going to stamp that in lime green. I'm just thinking that if I do this I might as well save it for a future project. So I would use tone on tone that shows alright, but what I think I might do, talk about being indecisive. For the video, so that you can really see what I'm doing, I'm going to stamp that in dark green. Yep, that's okay. This is going to be a lot better. I just want to show you a cheats fix. Obviously you know how to do fussy cutting. I just want to show you the A. Right. Obviously this is very straightforward to cut out, but then you've got the centre of the A, which none of the other letters do. Now you can do it by trying to push your scissors in there and cut out the centre diamond, or you do what I did and use a craft knife, or you can cheat, which is what I'm going to show you how to do. Okay, so you've got your A, you've got the bit in the middle that you don't want. So all you need to do, easy, is what you can see I've done here. I stamped the previous one because I had to check it to make sure that it was going to work. So I've used the dark ink, which is here, and I only need the A. I don't need to ink all of it. But let's just take the A that way. There we go. Let's move that. So all you need to do is cut the white triangle out of here. Okay, let's bring that back. Of course, another alternative is you could just leave the centre in there. Come back. See if I can see my tweezers somewhere. There we go. Let me just find a small pair of tweezers here. Oh, it's got a bit of fluff on it. There you go. Oh, come on. There we go. Right, so nobody would know. If you adhered that onto that, nobody would know that bit of white isn't showing through from there. Okay. Right, so let me get my letters, which I've already done. In fact, my bit of white is still on there. If I'd realised, I could have just showed you. Never mind. But mine's been cut out, so. Right, I am going to be using just a tiny, tiny bit of Tombow. If it comes out too thick, I will just dab it onto my paper. Let's do that one. the wrong paper. No, it isn't. I was thinking this is the paper I'd used last time. I really know how to frighten myself. I have to say, paper piecing is one of the techniques I really do enjoy. In fact, maybe I should do a video on that. Okay, so that's that. So now I'm going to adhere it on here, which is the front. Right, this is the front. And I did it down towards the bottom so that I could get my cake up on the side there. And I found it easier if I pulled that up and out so that I didn't have too much of a thickness here. So there's that one. And then the birthday cake and the plate, oh, that's there and that's there. I will show you the stamp set this is from. Piece of cake, again, this one's in the New Spring Summer catalogue. I'm using the cake stand there and that happy birthday. And I am going to be using Cake is the Answer. Who cares what the question is? So let's just move this out of the way. I won't get rid of it totally. Now, what colour do I want to do the cake and the stand? I think what I decided I would do is I would do the cake stand in crumb cake. And with that stamp set, it does come as a bundle so that you can punch out the cake and the cake stand. And the next one is for the cake, and what I thought I would do with this is stamp it twice and then paper piece it. Just makes it something a little bit different, that's all. So I need to be able to stamp both these out, don't I? Well, there's another piece. Let's have that. Okay, so that's that. Let's stamp that off on that bit of paper again. Let's take this one and I'll do a dark green one. Now I can decide whether I want the light on the top or on the bottom. Now I've got a little handle here. First of all, let's do this one. Yeah, that's not going to go in there. So what I've got is a little piece of cardstock here, and I've got some snail on there. I'm just going to put there to hold my piece of paper, and then I can pop that there, and you see it's going to cut out a complete white one there. That's going to be for my other card, so that I will just stamp straight onto that. Okay, so that's that one done. And now this one. Try not to have it so that you've got to punch through 2 layers. It's not particularly easy. And then do this one. There we go. I'm not sure I'd try stamping straight onto that. It's not going to be as easy as trying to stamp on the cake. That'll be quite straightforward. Right, so what do I want? Do I want the... I'm going to put this lighter green on that one. So all I'm going to do is with my scissors, I'm just going to cut straight across there. Trying to leave the green line at the bottom, I think. Oh, I left some of that cardstock, look. I did punch through it. I cut those edges off. And is that going to fit on all right? There we go. You get that and that. It's a lot easier than trying to paint your stamp, which obviously is another option. So I'm just going to use Tombow. You could use dimensionals on the outside one if you want to. I'm not. Don't really have a reason for not doing it. There we go. So where do we put this? Where's my card gone? Right, okay, so it's going just on that bit there. Make sure I got the right one. Oh, here we go. And again, if I squeeze the glue out too much here, I will dab it onto my paper. That centre bit has... Let me bring my paper over so that you can see what I mean, in case you've never seen me do this before. This just takes a lot of the glue off so it doesn't come oozing out. Got this upside down now, haven't I? Right. I think that's straight. And then this one. There's that one. And then I just need the... Oh, my bow's cut my... Oh yeah. Oh, that's because I should have used 2 glue dots. I know what I've done there. Right, okay. Pretend that didn't happen. Right, so I've got cake is the answer, who cares what the question is, but on my one now I'm going to do 2 colours. And I'm going to do the light green for the top sentiment. let's come as low as I can. Whew, just about. No, excuse my head if I do get it in the way. I have already made one of these ahead of time in case. Cake is the answer. And this one, I have to say I do think the writing on this one is rather small. I don't know what you think. Right, let's bring that back down again. Yep. There we go. I think that might be a bit wonky, is it? Don't think so. If it is, it's only very slightly. So this one, I'm just going to adhere up here. Now what I would do, when I'm ready to send this card to somebody, what I would do is I would punch or cut a piece of Whisper white cardstock. I'd probably die cut a fancy shape of some sort, write my greeting on that and then adhere it onto the back of this card. Right, have I? Now I'm going to dab that one again as well, because if I allow any glue to ooze out on the inside, that's going to stop my card from working properly. There we go. I mean, I've left plenty of space there if you want to do other decorating. My idea would be to put somebody's name in here. Okay, so that's the card that somebody thinks they're getting, and the ribbon I'm using on this one is going to be this, and my ribbon scissors, and my glue dots. Now what I do for this is I fold my ribbon into what I call the breast cancer bow, like that, so those two facing upwards, and then I put these two pieces through from the back, which is here, so as that comes through, that will sit nicely. Now what I did was I only put one glue dot there, so it was only holding part of the ribbon. Okay, so that's for this bit. So I pull that tight through there and then get that to fix down. And what I didn't do is I should have put one underneath that like crossbar. In fact, I'm going to fold that in half and get it in there. I wouldn't try that if it's a very fine ribbon. But this has got it's like a, I think they call it mini ruffled. So that's okay, like that. Okay, so close that. And the other one, I have to say, I did leave it a bit too short. And one thing I didn't try was, does it fit into an envelope? Well, let me just reach an envelope out and I will tell you. Bear with me. Well, that's all right. Look at that. Brilliant. So plenty of room for the ribbon to go in there as well. So there we go. That's today's project. Before I go, you've got this one to see and you have that one to see. When you see this one on my blog tomorrow, not tomorrow, on Sunday, that will all be tidied up. I would have repaired that. I wanted to show you the first ones that I did. I haven't thrown them away. I know I haven't. Oh, here we go. Oh, come on. There we go. Right, okay. Now this is the first one I did because I didn't think designer series paper would work, because I think designer series paper is a bit on the thin side for jobs like this, but it worked a lot better than this one, which is our specialty paper, and this one is the one where it sticks out from the top. I didn't finish this off, as you can see. I mean, it should have something on it to pull this out, but I don't find that this, it's going to work beautifully now. Yes, that works beautifully. Okay, let's try this one. Oh, yes, that one's pulling a bit. Yeah, okay. That must have been the first one I did. Yes, it was. Yeah, okay. At least I improved with it, but I don't think that is as nice as this one. This I'm really very pleased with, and I'm really very pleased to share it with you. So I hope you've enjoyed today's project, and I really hope you give it a try. If you have any questions, please leave them in the box below the video. I'm always very happy to help you, and I always enjoy reading your feedback too. If you'd like to purchase any of the products that I featured here today, there'll be a link to my 24/7 shop, Stampin' Up shop, in the box below. The only thing that won't be available at the moment will be this stamp set. That will be available as from 3rd of January, which is when we start celebration, which is a great time because for every £45 or €60 you spend, you can choose a gift from the celebration brochure. I have already sent all my catalogues out to all my customers. If you don't have a Stampin' Up demonstrator, but you would like to receive the catalogues and you live in the UK, Netherlands, France, Austria or Germany, please email me at janb@janbcards.com and I'll be very happy to pop you copies in the post. If you've enjoyed my video and you'd like to be notified each time I upload a new one, please click on the subscribe button and then tick the bell. That means you'll get email notifications each time. As well as comments and everything in the box below, I'll also put all the measurements and score lines and products I've used. They'll all be in the box below as well. And finally, please don't forget that I have a Facebook group for crafters to share their projects, whether it's if you've copied something that I've shown on a video or something totally unrelated. It's lovely to see what you do. It's called JanB's Happy Crafting, so please pop on over. I'd love to see you over there. In the meantime, I think, yes, I would like to wish you all a very healthy, happy 2019. Next time I see you, we will be in the new year. So, Happy New Year to you all. God bless. Until next time, happy crafting. Cheerio.